But it's interesting because you ended up with Congress setting the law, and then you have HHS setting these rules, and at times they're in conflict with one another, and mainly because they came out of two different groups. Policy and law is an interesting thing, right? It serves two purposes. On one side, it codifies the expectations and the beliefs of society, such that it says, like, these are the boundary conditions. And we all agree that these are the boundary conditions, and if you violate them, then we have the ability to ostracize and penalize you in whatever way we see fit. And then there's the flip side of it, which says that we also know that there are markets that govern society, and that if the markets have the ability to get out of whack, then we set policy and we set law to try to create some type of a level playing field or reorientation of the market to ensure that it doesn't exploit all of the individuals and the companies within society. And the unfortunate part, though, I think with HIPAA is that it meant well. The privacy rule meant well, in that it really tried to say that there were rights that individuals had with respect to their data in terms of, you can request an accounting, you can get access to information. Unfortunately, I also think it created loopholes with respect to data specifically. And one of those was that they created this definition of de-identified information, which, to be honest with you, I think is one of the worst words ever created, because when you think about it, it's de-identified. It's 5 syllables, and that is just way too many to try to describe what is a principle by which we use to manage all of our health information. But basically what it says is that if you de-identify the information, then the individual to whom the data corresponds has no rights with respect to that information. And the organization that collected it can do whatever they want. And in particular, what's happened is that we've seen I don't know if it's become multi-billion, but it's definitely close to it in terms of a market for the sharing of data about health data about individuals. Now, there's questions about whether or not it's readily identifiable or identifiable. Hopefully it's not. But it's not a market that should probably exist. And so this is a really strange situation, because now people, when they argue about privacy, sometimes they're talking about confidentiality. They're saying, I'm concerned that somebody's going to collect information without my permission. But then there's also this complication in that people believe that there's intellectual property, and they relate that to privacy, and that's information about me. And you're going to commercialize it, and I get nothing out of it in return. That's a violation of my rights, and you violated my privacy in order to get that information. And this conflation of these two ideas